This video was made without the use of AI content generation. Sometimes someone has to die, and usually a sledgehammer works fine. But sometimes you don't have a sledgehammer. All you have is a scalpel. A homicidal scalpel armed to the teeth with explosives, heavy weaponry, and some of the best armor and genetic modifications humanity has to offer. Today, we'll be reviewing the video game about the concept, the Kill Team. In today's video, Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team, the retro review. Okay, just a quick thing before we get started. I didn't realize that this game is actually delisted on Steam and the Xbox Store. That's right, not only can you not buy this game anymore, but you actually aren't allowed to. It's illegal, and it's probably for the best, to be honest. I was actually going to leave this part for after, but I figured it'd avoid disappointment on the off chance that someone would buy this game, or would want to buy this game. You can only get this game now by buying an independently sold code on somewhere like G2A or CD Keys. Mate, how can somebody even justify a price like that? Or on the PlayStation Free Store, where you need to download the free demo first and then buy the game through the demo. I haven't tested it. I found it on delistedgames.com. There's a link below if you want to get the full 411 on that. Let's run the intro. Spoiler alert, please pause the video at this moment in time, complete the game, and then come back to this video. Thank you, and leave a like and subscribe so you don't forget. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's the 41st millennium. You are a space marine, part of a kill team to destroy an orc kill cruiser, kill the orc warboss.
God blimey! There's humans coming right for us! Blast them out of sky, you git!
And give the world below a slight reprieve from its invasion. The max player count is 2 for this game, so you're more like a kill pair or a kill marine, and I'll get more into that later. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Ben, I hear you cry. What is a kill team? I'm going to tell you right now. A kill team in the 40k universe is a small-scale action group which can involve information gathering, sabotage, assassination, or whatever else you might need that perhaps doesn't elicit a large-scale invasion force. Think special forces or something like that, but in the lore. Ordinarily, it would mean something like a group of space marines. So the Death Watch, for example, are the most famous group of kill teamers. But right now, it's colloquially known as just like a small group of highly skilled warriors that have a very dangerous mission, or something like that, the criteria that we mentioned earlier. Usually these teams will attempt to be hidden and perform their actions in as low-key a way as possible, as their small complement of team members make them more vulnerable than conventional forces. Of course, these attempts at hiding will end once the kill team has achieved all other goals, moved into their optimal position, and is ready to complete their mission, which more often than not involves someone or something dying. So now that we've established what a kill team is, and the other terminology that we'll be using, let's talk about the game and start with the tech specs. Before we dive into the game, you're going to want to run it. The minimum system requirements on Steam are Windows 7 or above, 2 GB of RAM, 2 GB of internal storage, a 2 GHz dual-core processor, and NVIDIA 8800 GTS. Let's check out the UI. Your first reaction, which may be the same as mine, is that yeah, there really isn't much of a UI. This is a console port originally released on Xbox 360 in 2011 as part of the Xbox Games Arcade, and then followed shortly after with a PS3 release. It took 3 years to make it to PC, and as far as I can tell, there doesn't really seem to be much in the way of actual improvements made to the game to make it more suitable for PC. It has keyboard and mouse support, sure, and you can play with a controller, but no remappable keys, no resolution choices, and very little to nothing in the way of accessibility options. Kill Team is an arcade game through and through. Simplistic, meant to be played a particular way, and more fool you if you expect differently. We've covered everything technical with Kill Team, so let's move on to the story. You're a Space Marine from a selection of first founding chapters. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I'd recommend Lexicanum for a very good encyclopedia of all things Warhammer. There is a link below. You are a Space Marine charged with causing as much havoc in an orc kill cruiser as possible, killing everything in there, sabotaging vital systems, and hopefully leaving. And that's it really. You're at most a pair of Marines, which is usually a lot smaller than an actual in-lore kill team, but I think I know the reason for that and how it can be explained. This single kill cruiser is part of a much larger invasion force, and seen as a company of marines is usually around 100 marines. At full strength with support staff in the lore, it makes sense that you might be split among the different strategic targets. There's no information given about this in-game, this is just supposition. You have a handler who gives you the occasional objective via unskippable cutscenes, which usually boils down to go here, kill, destroy, murder, blow up, kill, use that elevator over there, and then a bit of filler text. Of course, this is 40k, and sometimes things are just not so straightforward. This cruiser isn't just infected with orcs, it turns out that these absolute units were carrying some Tyranids. For the uninitiated, Tyranids are gribbly alien creatures from outside the galaxy, mostly concerned with living ships hobnobbing their way through the galaxy, eating the entire ecosystems of planets to feed themselves, create more Tyranids, and continue that glorious cycle before moving on to another galaxy. They are usually likened to and treated like a locust swarm, which is actually a really good analogy for them. It's very straightforward. If possible, these guys are even less friendly than the orcs, so they really have to go. Fast forward a few sections and bam, we are at the bridge. Ultra spoiler alert, you come face to face with the Orc Warboss and he is packing some major hardware. Finish a lengthy fight with this stumpy little bastard and that's it, you win. You've successfully crippled and destroyed the Orc kill cruiser and saved the planet Graia, at least from this cruiser. You have no name, so call yourself Commander Ass Kicker if you want, and that's it, that's all you really need to know. If you only know a little bit about the lore, then that should really get you up to speed. Kill Team is a twin-stick arcade shooter developed by the now defunct Juice Games and published first by THQ and then Sega following the bankruptcy of THQ. Those U-Draw tablets were definitely worth it, lads. It comes with all the features that you can expect from a twin stick. You move through the level, you fight and kill enemies, you find and break open long crates for time power-ups, and find checkpoints to save your progress. As a fun fact, if you've ever played Dawn of War 2, you'll recognise these crates as assets from that game. Kind of a nice little Easter egg for 40k veterans, along with the actual models for the Space Marines themselves. Now, I've played a couple of twin sticks in my time, and as far as I'm aware, this is a unique feature for Kill Team. You pick your loadout before you head into the mission as a character, and each time you make a checkpoint, you get the option to change that character over. It might be a common feature. I haven't seen it personally, so you know, maybe. We have 4 different characters that come with specific loadouts of weapons and unique abilities: the Vanguard, Stern Guard, Tech Marine, and Librarian. We can neatly divide those into ranged and close combat specialists. The Tech Marine starts with a standard burst fire bolter before upgrading to a higher damage plasma gun. His final upgrade, however, is the Melter Gun, a high damage beam weapon. As an aside, the Melter Gun is perhaps one of the most consistently misrepresented weapons across the entire lore in art and video games. In Dawn of War, it's beam, along with Dawn of War 2 and Warhammer 40k Fire Warrior. In Space Marine and Rogue Trader, it's a cone heat blast. Guys, please just pick a direction. It's my favorite gun. Just make it work. Okay, it looks so much cooler as a cone heat blast. Just keep it like that, please. Moving back to the subject, the Tech Marine has access to a deployable heavy bolter turret as a special move. The Stern Guard is a ranged heavy weapon specialist, beginning with a burst fire heavy bolter, upgrading to a plasma cannon, and then finishing with a fast firing missile launcher. His special move is focus fire, a moment of extremely high rate of fire for a few seconds. Specialising in crowd control, the Librarian performs an AoE shockwave centered on himself, the Vanguard a directed jetpack-induced shockwave. Both play similarly to one another, all things considered, with similar weapon loadouts. Across all classes, you get access to frag grenades, a very short sprint function, and unlockable perks to increase health, combat damage, grenade limits, and more. Scattered throughout the levels, you'll find many power-ups that are staples of the twin-stick genre, like multi-fire, invulnerability, and health regen. These are vital to completing solo stages. In my opinion, the game is very unbalanced towards range combat, especially with fast-moving projectiles. If you get caught with your pants down, there is no health regen available, then you're going to be respawning at the last checkpoint, and you better pray it wasn't a cutscene, because you're going to be sitting through the whole thing again. Apparently, the ability to skip was a feature that was just ignored, but whatever, let's go. Enemies spawn in waves, usually progressively harder, but always in the same way. You get a few seconds between waves, their placement is usually easy to predict, and if anything, enemy waves are more inconvenient and a waste of time than a challenge. When deaths happen, they are usually cheap. No character death should feel good, but there's a difference between a death that you can learn from and develop after, and a death from a floor falling away or a lack of room to maneuver. Boss battles are simple affairs, generally they're not very compelling either. While I still have your attention, let's talk about glitches and bugs. Cool pest control, this game is riddled with them. From falling through the floor to ragdoll physics, taking corpses on a cosmic trip through space and time to the camera dragging the player to literally anywhere else but the game itself, you're going to have some fun. And by fun I mean several extra hours logged because these glitches made the game unplayable. Stage 4 lives on in infamy for me. You get teleported to a loading area with an elevator further up the path, and you've got to take it to move through the stage. So far so good. You kill all the enemies, the elevator starts rising, and your boy starts to lose track of how gravity works. If you get this, it's a hard restart, so let's hope you have cloud saves prepped and ready to go, because it seems to interfere with the triggers that actually progress the story. I made the mistake the first time, and I was right back to stage 1 for me. No game is immune to criticism upon release. Gamers are notoriously fickle creatures, and one man's game of the year is another man's trash heap game. Now, in all fairness, when this game was announced, there was some cautious excitement from what I can find on archived pages. However, this all stopped once the game was released. The Warhammer nerds, they were not happy. The game in website reviews are not really that good either. The scores are looking to be roughly a 6 out of 10 on average. So the verdict for this game from your boy Pure Ben. It sucks and I hate it. Hey guys, Pure Ben here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, then you are either the target audience or you really like me, in which case you should really do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button, because then you get to see more videos that I put out, and I put out quite a lot of content these days, and that's definitely not going to age very well, but hey, that's fine. I'm across everything on the social medias and stuff, and I'm sure you can probably tell that this isn't scripted, so this is just me riffing as we go. I do videos occasionally, which is great, but if you really want to connect with me, I also stream on Twitch as well, so you can find me on there at PureBen, so PURE_BEN, and you can talk to me about other things as well. I love Warhammer, I love coffee, and I love all sorts of other bits and pieces, so if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, please do come over and say hi. There's links down below for everything, for the Discord, for social medias and stuff, if you want to continue the conversation that we have. And more than anything, I just hope that you have a really great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this. You know, man, this took me 6 years to make, but you know what? It's been a labor of love, and it's been kind of worth it. So maybe the next video that I do won't take me anywhere near that long. Hey, we can only hope, right? Do me a favor as well. If you've got anything that you want to say about this, leave a comment, because that helps to boost the engagement rating for this video, and also leaving a like or a dislike if you prefer, that's fine too. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Take it easy, have a great day.